All right, a harsh law is called draconian law. You might have heard of it. After the Greek lawgiver Draco, two-fifths of the laws were draconian. If 42 laws were draconian, how many laws were there in all? Uh, it's redundant, but they're having you set up an equation verbatim. You know what I mean? What do you think? Let me explain.
So it would be.
Yeah, the wording is a bit redundant, but they're doing it on purpose for you to follow it word for word, because it's still early. You guys setting up equations, so you want to let x equals something, or actually just I don't think you're declaring or defining a variable yet, but yeah, try. How would you do it? 2/5.
2/5 times 42 equals x.
2/5 times 42 equals x. Let me see. 2/5 of the laws. 2/5 of the law were draconian. If 42 laws were draconian, I know why you actually did that. 2/5 of the laws were draconian. 42 laws were draconian. How many laws were there in all? Yeah, this is confusing. This is confusing. It's not 2/5 times 42. Here's why. There are more laws than just draconian. You see? So the way it's written, it's not that great, but it's okay. It's almost grammatical. You have to break it all up carefully. This implies there's more than just a draconian law. There are more than that. But wait, yeah, there are. If 42 laws were draconian, based on this phrase, the way I'm pretty sure, because they don't normally will have you write, they normally will give you a fraction and then the actual multiplication number to that, right? Number one. So, but 42 laws were draconian. How many laws, see right here also, how many laws were there in all? So that means you're trying to find a bigger number than 42. Get it? Because the last part implies that. Yeah, I know this is like, man, why being so tricky? How many laws were there in all? Therefore, if you multiply 2/5 times 42, the number gets smaller than 42, right? The fraction is 2/5. 2/5 fractions of a number will always give you smaller, unless it's a mixed number, right? There you go. So therefore, try again.
So 2/5 x equals 42?
Yes. Yeah, I get it. I get it, because they could have worded this better. Yeah, I thought that the same at first, but then no. Yeah, this last statement tells you that, especially the last part right here. So yeah, that's it, and just multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Hey, does that make sense? Yeah, sometimes you have to make sense of the wordings. So this is something that you'll learn to make sense of, because you have to check your work. Yeah, 21 times 5. You okay with this? What is that? 105? Is that okay? So this is it. It makes the most sense. What it is that if you were to do it the way you said it before, and you try to check this number, 105, it will not make sense. Yeah, always, when you have time, especially right on the quiz, on the test, word problems, come back and read the number, laws, sorry, and then see if it makes sense. This time it makes sense, because it's implied that, hey, there's more law. 42 is just part of that, 42 draconian. I guess the draconian law, they're like different harsh levels, like very harsh, one little harsh, right? So there's 42 of them. Yeah, I've heard of the word draconian, and so. But anyway, okay, I think you're good with that. Let's move on. A neophyte is a beginner. On the first day of classes, 28,000 students arrived at the university campus. Okay, if 3/7 were neophytes, how many were not neophytes? Okay, this is another good one. Yeah, they do this all the time. Yeah, they give they ask for they give you or I shouldn't say it. They give you one, and then they want you to find the not the other group. One group, find the other group, or yeah. Okay, how would you do it? It's a good problem.
Um,
That just keep in mind, 28,000 students arrived. That implies total. Get it? Like total, well, at least for this campus. It's a small campus. No, okay, no, big size, middle size. Anyway, 28,000 students total. First day. 3/7 were neophytes. How many were not neophytes? Now, this problem can be done different ways, at least two different ways. But I'll let you try and see how you've been taught or what you know. Go for it.
um,
3/7.
so 2020. So it's 28,000 times 3/7.
Let me see. 3/7 were neophytes. How many were not? Okay, if you multiply 3/7 and 28,000, you will get neophytes. It says so, right? If 3/7 were neophytes, that means if you times it, like right now, 3/7. Now I recommend you, if you're gonna follow the wording, you would want to put it in the front, because 3/7 fractions off, it's always better to write it in the front because you always seen it like off, one half off, all that. So if you do this, it'll be equals to neophytes. Do you want that to be the answer?
No. So would it be 4/7
Yes,
times?
yes, the remaining, right? Yeah, as simple as that. Now we don't need to do fancy equation here, you know. So that's it. So this one is that, but I'll leave it like that. But I'll do this, and not neophytes. Yeah, you don't have to erase it if you don't want. Not neophytes. Yeah, this is the most sensible way to write up the equation. It's the most common way. Intruding into the space here. I think you're okay. Yeah, so let's see. Cross cancel here. You can do everything I do here, okay? 4,000 here. It's up one time. And 4,000 times 4, 16,000. So this is the answer, the fastest way. Now, obviously, the other way you could have done is this, and then subtract it from 2,800. I'll let you copy it. You get it? If you were to do it this way, you could. But then the number that you get, you have to subtract it from here to get the other one, right? It makes sense. Yeah, some people would do that based off the wording. Like you follow the wording, precisely, right? 3/7 were neophytes, so they multiply it to get that and then subtract it. But the faster way is this: you've been taught to do this before. You may not have done it lately, but I believe I've seen it. The not just go ahead and get the other portion of the fraction and times it. It's the most I would say efficient way, the fastest way. All right, what about 3? Patton drove his column north and covered 60 miles in 3 hours. Okay, 60 miles in 3 hours. How much did he need to increase the columns rate in order to complete the last 200 miles in the remaining 5 hours of daylight? Okay, so what do you think?
So 60 miles over 3 hours equals 20 miles over 1 hour.
Okay,
And
okay,
then
good, good, good. Let me do that. 60 miles over 3 hours equals what?
20
20
miles
miles in 1 hour. I'll do. Is it okay? I'll do it like that for now. Now I'll flip it back to fraction. Okay, now what? Good,
and
good.
then uh we have to do um
How much increase to to complete the last 200 miles in the remaining 5 hours of daylight? What do you think? 200 miles in the remaining 5 hours. Now it's a little wordy. If you like, you could just take that word remaining. I think that's probably confusing you, right? I think. Take out that word remaining, dude. What do you think? So far, yeah, I'm good with this 20 miles per hour. Yeah, yeah. Now, don't forget, some people will do MPH. Get it? Like, whatever. That's fine. If you do it this way, you can convert back into the fraction with the 1 in front of the hour. So, so, so it's needed. It's needed 200 miles in 5 hours. So there's the hint. It's needed, or he needed 200 miles in 5 hours. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and put that and then reduce and see what happens here. Because I think the reward remaining is distracting you. I think you think you might be thinking there's something more to it. This is another rate. So let's just do it and see what happens here. Right? Yeah, it's just another rate. Ignore the remaining. It's just a wordy thing. It's like it's a story based, right? They want. Oh, did I cover the 5? Yeah, it's a bit wordy because they want to make it story like, make it more to it, so it's not too short and too technical. What is that?
40
40
miles.
miles. So now put it kind of like, follow the wordings. How much did he need to increase? So all of it it's about rate, one rate compared to another rate. One rate is 60 miles in 3 hours, and the other rate is 200 miles in 5 hours. So how much did he need to increase? So isn't it
Oh,
just
20. 20
yeah?
because it's
How do you yeah
20.
yeah? How do
Because
you
yeah,
get that?
40
Yep,
20 miles an hour.
yep.
The difference of
Yeah, the difference
20.
exactly. I'm not going to write the units, but when you do science, you may have to write the units, like right here, subtract not the 20 and then the units again. But just make it simple here. Your teacher won't care here, but in the end, you have to write the miles per hour. So this is it. So the answer is 20. Just put miles per hour, something like that. Or you could do MPH if you want. That's it. I know it's like a little. What do you? Why it's too wordy? It's just trying to make a story out of it. Word problems sometimes that tends to happen. Now number 4 looks to me is very straightforward, dude. Yeah, it's good. I like it. They're varying it quite a bit so that you don't get bored. I don't know. What is this thing here? It doesn't help anything. Trying to have space in to write. But of course. All right. Number 4, the ratio of the timorous to the undaunted was 5 to 17. If 200 were timorous, how many were undaunted? I would do a proportion here. Okay, what do you think?
So if it's 5 timorous over 17 undaunted, then it'd be 17 over 5 equals 200. And then you cross out the.
Oh wait, 17 over 5 equals 200. What?
No, it would be 5 timorous over 17 undaunted times. Oh, yeah, no. It would be 5. Yeah, 5 over 17. Or. No, because the 200 is timorous, so the 5 needs to be on the bottom so you can cancel out the units.
Okay, okay. Good point. Good point. However, you got to be more flexible. Here's why. When they write the ratio, something to something, you might want to keep it exactly in that order. I know you can flip flop it. No worries. You can do that. No worries there. But I think it's safer to follow the order, the way it's written. For example, the way I see it, I think you know this one. I know you can solve this one. But I recommend you keep it as is, like I don't know the Timorius and then undaunted here. Get it? The top, the bottom
So
equals
then
what?
it would equal x over 200 instead of 200 over x.
That's right. That's right. Is that okay? Now
Yeah.
this is actually the faster. If the x is in the numerator, you get the answer faster for sure. However, it doesn't have to be. That's the thing. It could be the x could be in the denominator. You have to be like willing to solve it because your math is good. You have more that you would have to deal with when x is in the denominator. More than that, by the way, you have just not just x. You're gonna have 2x minus 1 together in the denominator, and you have to solve it. So you have to kind of like okay with that. Be okay with that because you're pretty far in now. Yeah, this is it, and you're good. You just multiply it, right? And whatever that says. But let's just see what it looks like. So it's I'm writing it over here, okay? So it's going to be 17x on one side, or you can put whichever side, and then 5 times 200. Now, I can't divide 17 in either one of these, therefore, I have to multiply straight across 1,000. 17x, divide both sides by 17. So this is it. And it's obviously not reducible, but how would you write the answer here? How many were undaunted? Let me double check here. Why is the answer kind of, it's a decimal, get it? So that means there's a mistake here. The ratio of tumors to undaunted was this. If 200 were tumorous, how many were undaunted? Do you see my error or anything? Double check my math here. 200, oh, it's in the numerator, dude, right? This is wrong. 200 were tumorous. Since we're trying to we're trying to follow the order, right? The ratio as is, like 5 to 17. So it's like 5 over 17. Whatever the 5 is, we'll deal with it. The 5 is tumorous, and 17 is undaunted. So therefore, 200 were tumorous. So it has to be in the numerator. Tell me if you're okay with that. And then x in the
Yeah.
denominator. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, hey, look at that. You even see me live, doing it live here, and you see the error. So you get to to know that, hey, how you check your answer. You gotta check your work. If your answer come out weird when it's implied that the answer should not be in decimal, that's the way I see it. I don't think it should be in decimal. It looks like these are people. You cannot have portion of people. I don't know that, but it seems like it's either an entity, a living, breathing entity, whoever these people are, or whatever. So there it is. Divide both sides by 5. But here, this one you can do now. Don't forget, okay? You want to look out for something like this because it will help you speed up the math. The 5 can go into 200 40 times, and itself one time. Therefore, 40 times 17. What is that? 40. I can't write on that. Why? 40 plus 28. No, wait, that's wrong. Okay, use the calculator. Okay. Let's do 17 here. 40, 0, 680. Is that okay? Did you get that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I got.
680 undaunted. Okay. Right. I think you're good. I'm pretty sure you're good. It's me, dude. I'm just like stumbling there. Yeah. Read carefully. All right. 5. You got many word problems all of a sudden. Normally it's like 4 or 3. Okay. I'm complaining. I don't know why. I can't erase that bar either. I have to go in the layers to erase that. Let me see if I can do that. This one? I think so. Check it out. All right. Sorry. Like I'm having fun here. All right. It takes 5 cups of flour to make 2 loaves of bread. How much flour is needed for 7 loaves of bread? Okay. Proportion. Go for it. Tell me. If you can make a proportion, please make it in a proportion because you were taught to do it based off similar triangles concept and it should be carried all the way through. Let's do it. How would you do it?
So 5 cups over 2 loaves equals 7 loaves over x.
7 loaves over x. You say
Yeah.
7.
And you can cross out the loaves.
Wait, double check. What do you want in the numerator here? What do you want in the denominator here?
7 loaves over x.
7 over
Or
x. You want to check that?
or x over 7 because the bottom is loaves.
Yes. Are you sure? Is that okay now? Yeah.
Yeah.
So flour. I know how I should put F here. Flour. It's needed. So it's flour is in the numerator. Loaves in 7 in the denominator. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's 35 divided by 2. 35 divided by 2. Check the answer again. How many flour? Okay. So this time, is it okay to have fraction? So if I continue and solve, 2x equals 35. 5 times 7, 7 times 5. Because if you have an odd number, you're gonna gain a fraction. Wait, yeah. Is it okay to have a fraction this time as an answer? Divide both sides by 2, okay? Half of 30 is 15. Half of 5 is 2.5. So for 17, x equals 17.5. Is that okay?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in the
What? But
back the answer it says that it just leaves it in fraction. So the answer should be 35 over 2 cups.
oh, okay. I'm glad you're looking it up. You can look up the other ones too, okay? If there's something wrong, let me know. But I think we did good. But here's the thing, though: the back is not perfect. Let me explain, dude. I know that you following everything. I'm glad you being paying attention. You following order, right? Again, remember, we've come across like type of things that in the store in the words and all that. It's not perfect. Therefore, that answer is not perfect. Here's why. What is 35? What is 35 halves? When you say to someone 35 halves flour, 35 halves of flour, do you want to answer that? Like if you were to solve and answer to someone, okay, so how much flour? Well, it's 35 halves. No one talks that way. You write your answer, trust me, 17.5. You get it? It makes sense. It let me let me guess. The back, let's say if this were computerized, they didn't finish it. They didn't finish it, dude. It's here's how this to me. This problem has probably been pasted over different wordings over and over with the same numbers. Possibly, I'm guessing. I'm getting all the possibilities right. But think about it, okay? If we're talking about this particular problem, you don't say, hey, the flour is 35 halves. No one understands what that means in general, right? I mean, unless you're like someone who's really, into math and you're educator or whoever. But you don't answer your answer like that. You got to answer it what makes sense. So yeah, I would do 30, 17.5. But here's the thing. Like I said earlier, it doesn't give you any units. That's why I think that this problem has been pasted over different wordings with the same numbers. So this one, if you want to add it onto it, you can say, hey, flour, but I think this came from a cups of things or, ounces of things. Get it? Like ounces and things. You can have decimal. So this is just flour. So I believe this problem has actually been pasted over by some other words. Yeah, I would not do 35 halves. No one answered that. Even if you don't have the actually proper units for it. But you can, don't forget, you don't have to erase anything. Just go ahead and leave it like that and continue downward. X equals 17.5. So in word problems, you don't want to answer as a improper fraction pretty much ever. Think about it, right, Manny? Think about it, okay? Your teacher will accept. I'm sure your teacher will accept this too if it came from the solution, right? Because this is the homework. But if it were on the test, they have to think this through, or a quiz. I don't agree, but I know you understand my point. Okay, but anyway, I'm making a case here. I don't agree with the answer being 35 halves. No one talks that way. Okay, okay, and that's enough. The coach, number 6, the coach told the team to give 110% of their previous effort. I have three, yeah. If their previous effort was 50 kilojoules, okay, now don't worry about that. That's physics units. How much effort does the coach want them to give? Draw a diagram to help solve the problem. You may not need the diagram, but I can draw it after I solve it. Because I think you can figure this out. Let's not, but let's try it. What do you think? You got 110% for their previous effort. If their previous effort was 50 kilojoules, right? Pretty much verbatim, it's word for word here. 100% of their previous effort. Their previous effort, 50 kilojoules. How much effort, carefully on this part, how much effort does the coach want them to give? I don't think that's actually any different. It's just like a bunch of wordy things. But what do you think? Yeah, what do you think, Manny?
So if it's 110%, it would be 110% times 50.
Anything
And
else?
then you uh
Yeah, I agree. I agree that you have to do this, but you can't use 110, right? But okay,
you have to put the decimal.
right. So, but then the question is there anything more to it than that, right? Yes, I agree. So far, you have to do this. So if don't forget to move the decimal 2 places from the back. So it'd be 1.10. Is that okay? Like this times
Yeah.
50. So I agree. But is there anything more to it? What do you think? Wait, let me punch in. Let me, to be safe, I'm punching in the calculator. 1.1, calculator, sorry, 1.1 times 50. So it's 55, 55, okay? But is that it? 55
55 kilojoules.
kilojoules. Let me see. Could their efforts? Yeah, kilojoules for now. I'll do kj. This is their previous effort. How much effort does the coach want them to give? Yeah, this is like I don't like the wording either. Let me think. Is that done?
Yeah,
I
it
think that's
is.
done.
Cause
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
done. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, good, 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 good. All right. Now, hey, might as well. Can you go back and check the other ones? You already have it, but then we'll move on. Go back and check the. I'm pretty
I
confident
can only,
with. Oh,
I
oh,
can't
oh
check the even numbers,
I
only
see.
the odd numbers.
Yeah, okay, check the odd ones. Number
Because
one.
the book doesn't, yeah.
Yeah.
So number one is 105 laws. So we got that.
Okay, good.
Number three
Number three.
is 20 miles per hour. We
Okay,
got
good.
that.
Okay.
Number five is 35 over 2 cups of flour. Or
Okay.
we got 17.5
Yes, same
cups.
thing. Yeah,
And
but
then
I recommend you 17.5. Okay, got it. All right, now seven. Let's move on a little bit. I want to get to like 14. This fancy problem because it has to do with surface area. Yeah, this is one that's like kind of slow everyone down. I think volume is not too bad, but I want to talk about number seven, because this is about getting percent. I want to see how you do this. I don't remember doing this much with you. I think we might have done this, but this is about getting the answer in percent. But I want to see how would you do it. Number seven.
so x times 8.2 equals 20.5. And then you have to divide both sides by 8.2.
Apprentices.
And
Look,
then,
yeah, you see, it's a decimal. I recommend you do something like this or something like this. Check this out. Number seven. Since this is decimal, you don't want to do x dot 8.2. Don't do that. You can do something like 8.2x. Okay. If you want to avoid parentheses entirely, like an equation equals this is equal. You okay?
yeah.
20.5. So let's just say I do that and I divide both sides by 8.2. Let's see, 20.5 divided by 8.2. I think that's what you want to do. Is that the answer? So 2.5. Yeah, my question is that the answer?
No, not yet.
Why? Why not?
Because it has to be in percent. So then you move the decimal
Where?
uh, to the right.
1, 2? Yes. So check your answer in the back if you want. Yeah, that would be great. So the answer should be 250%. If I were to check it, yeah, anyway, I would do move the decimal 2.5. Yeah, so this has to be the answer. If I were to check it, I would move in two decimal places back and then times it to 8.2. That looks to me like, like you double it a little more than doubling it, 2.5 to 8, it'll be like more than 16. It'll be 20.5. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is right, but yeah, you can check if you want. Is that okay? Yeah, this one is a
Yeah.
trick problem. The reason is because a lot of people will set it up and don't convert. It looks like it's done. 2.5 is already like hey, that's like a percent number. No, it can be bigger than 100%. Right? Like you've seen it, like like this one here. Yeah. Okay, you're good. You're good. All right. I think you're
I
okay
checked it.
graphing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm okay with graphing.
Good. 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 What about? Don't forget. Okay. If you have the variable on the left side and the number on the right side, you get to point the arrow where the inequality is pointing at. Okay.
Yeah.
And the bar, no bar, open dot, close dot. Okay. 140% of this. So it'd be similar. This time it's just you can convert the decimal and then times it, right? 310.
Yeah.
You okay with that? Okay, now I assume you're good for this table. Oh, let me ask you: Do you need to draw the diagram? That's my
No,
question now. You sure?
no. She said that
Okay,
was only last year. She said if you want to, you can.
I remember. I remember last year. Okay, good, because I was about to try and do it. All right, all right. Simplified. You okay? Times is 3 times, but you'll learn to do a little faster when this is like 13. Maybe not 8. You don't want to write it out 8 times. But they're not going to give you that anyway for numbers, for fractions. Variables, X, Y, A, B, C. X, Y, Z, A, B, C, maybe. All right. Oh, what about B? Just quickly, if you can come up with the answer right away.
So for B, it would be 2
Just two?
over
No. Okay. It's okay because you're still getting used to you. Yeah, you through time you
oh it's
know.
3.
Yeah, three. It's like this is 9 times 9, right? But then there's 3 times 3, 3 times 3. So that you need to find out the number that times itself like 4 times. So it's 3. Yeah, you got it. All right. Moving on. Volume. How would you do volume for number 14?
For number 14, so you would do uh for the volume you do 3.14 times the diameter, so 6.
Not
Or
quite. Not quite.
would it be 3 squared for the
Yes,
volume?
yes, but why? Wait. So far, yes, 3 square, and then what else?
uh
So, do you think this is done? Yeah, it is going to be the 3 squared one, but
and then you
well,
have to multiply it by 10.
yes. Why? Okay, now my question is why all this? That's correct, by the way. The volume. You could do another parenthesis here. I don't like the decimal. So I'll do parenthesis to emphasize multiplication. Since the 3.14 you're using, and you're gonna do a bunch of dot to multiply it. Now this is something that you don't have to do, but you do enough math, you probably want to punctuate it nicely so you don't get confused. And many teachers don't care for that. They don't may not even think of it. So I hope you understand. You know I've been preaching this for a while. But okay, so this is correct. But why? Why does volume has this 3.14 r squared, which is 3 squared times 10? What is this based off? Yeah, I know that you've done it before, but it could be from like pattern recognition, like memory from memory. You memorized it, but there is a rule for volume. But do you remember what it what it is? Then we'll do the surface area. Why are we doing this? Yeah, there's a particular rule that you following, and it's not just for a cylinder, which is a solid. You can do it for a rectangular solid. You can do a no kidding. You could even do a triangular pyramids, but you got to do a little tweak on that by doing a 1/3. But anyway, yeah, it will work for any straight up solid. But why? Because it's a volume. But why does it work this way? How do you do it? Because this is going to be something important for some other shape that is not like as simple as this. For example, if you have a shape that looks something like this, right? Now I'm making this up. This is like the bottom or the top of it. And then you have to find the volume, this whole thing. It's like a fancy building. How would you do it? Think about what I'm saying, okay? How would you even do this? Let's just say this is like a building, but don't forget. Let's say volume, this building. This is actually based off like, hey, architecture concept. And oh, it's not. It's really math at first, I guess. But they use it in architecturing. They have to figure out how much stuff that you put in the building and all that, you know? So, but there is a concept that's exactly the same thing as this involved. What is that? Do you remember? Or you can try to describe it to me because this will help you do any shape, a volume of any shape that it's like a straight up one. Okay, but the base can look so odd. It doesn't matter. Like a triangular, like point out like that. There's some building here in Thailand, right? It's pretty fancy, dude. I've been going to the city. It's amazing. There's this because the country is a little bigger than just California. Therefore, everything has to be actually stacked up. So it's almost like getting high tech. Imagine that for a second, right? Like Japan, you can imagine like Japan, but it's not, but it's a bit more, yeah, it's a little different because it's still growing. How about that? Yeah, so they're seeing some fancy building, dude. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I thought of it just now. And then therefore they have to find how much volume, how much stuff that they have to put in to build the, the building. So it's based on this concept. It's built based on this particular volume concept that you're learning now, but it's still, early. Okay, do you remember why you're doing this? If not, I'll explain quickly. What do you think? Yeah, you got this right, by the way. Whatever this is, it's what is it? Cubic meters. Correct. But why? You,
Because you have to like find the area of the circle and then multiply by the height to get the whole thing.
yep, that's it. That's it. So that's exactly, dude. I'm really happy that you know this, because this is going to help you do the other ones. What it is this: it's volume. Now this is very generic. Your teacher may even not do this, but this is actually in. I remember seeing it. Well, not in this book. Sorry, I don't remember seeing this book, but I believe you guys should have been taught. This is actually very universal for any math, geometry. It is base, the capital B, it doesn't have to be, and then the height. It either be lowercase or uppercase. The height is going to be the main one here. The base is really the shape of the base of the solid. This big B, this big B. Now it could be lowercase b, whatever, but this is generic. This is generic for solid volume, volume of any solid, straight up solid. So this B is really the area. The B is the area of the base, but they call it just B, base. Area of the base. It doesn't have to. You can do the top if you want, but they always use the B for the base. The shape of the base, the area. So it's the area of the base, area of the base, area of the base. So the base and then times the height. So you can imagine a bunch of CDs stacks up. A CD, they have to get the space of CDs and stack them up. So there it is. But this is the concept for any solid. But that means you can have the base of this one. Imagine this is the base on the bottom here, which they don't normally show you because it's like 3D. It's inside. You have to look through the building. So if they're going to have you do something fancy, they only show you the top. And then you can imagine you find the area at the top and then basically times the height. Same thing as it should match the base. It can only be done when the top and the base are the same. So okay, the top base, the bottom base are the same. That's it. Okay, now the harder one is the surface area. I'll do S for surface area. How would you do it?
So that would be
You can break it up if you want, like trying to break it down or break up the cylinder. Use your imagination and break it up, break them to faces or pieces, and then get the surface area. You got the top surface of the cap, the bottom surface of the cap, and then the side of the cap, right? So you can do it in any order you want. You can do one at a time and then add them all up. You don't need to memorize the formula if you don't have it down. So I'll draw this. So the top cap and the bottom cap, and then there's a rectangle, which is the sides. I imagine I cut it and I kind of like unfold it. Is that okay? Right there.
so it would be 3.14 times the radius squared. So it'd be times
3, right? It was a 3.
times 3 squared, and then
Okay, that's one cap. That's just one cap. So you have to get all the caps, like the top caps and the bottom caps, and then the sides. That's the surface area, right? That's just one. Then you have to get this.
So then it would have to be and then for the rectangle it would be 20 times
Why 20?
because the side, or not 20, I meant was it 10 I meant 10
10 times what?
10 times
I
12
know this.
or
Yeah, this is tough. Okay, you okay? This being 10, it's a rectangle, right? It's a length times the width, like the side times side. So it's 10 here. But then you have to find how long this is, right? This right here. But what is that? right? That the length of that side, the longer side. It's like the length, and the 10 is like the width. The width is the shorter one. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to call it the length and the width.
Would it be 3.14 times 6?
3.14
Divided by
times 6. Okay, why is that? Yeah, it is correct, by the way. So I'll do 3.14 times 6. Oh, okay, anyway, 10 times, is it okay? 10 times 3.14 times 6. The 3.14 times 6, why is that this here? Do you remember the word? Why is it 3.14 times 6 to be the length of that side? I meant right here. It's correct. But why? Do you remember? Okay, then, okay, the length of this thing, when you unfold it, is the circumference of the circle. The circumference, you have two formulas. One is pi times diameter, which is the one that you're using right now, right? The diameter is 3 plus 3, which is 6. And then the other one, don't forget, is 2 pi r. Okay, that's it. Then we add them, right? But there's something missing. Wait, right? Yeah. Once you get,
2?
again, say it again, sorry.
Divided by 2?
But why are you dividing this by 2? This is
Because,
this is the cap. This here is the cap, the top, just one of them.
multiply by 2?
Yes, you got
Because
to
it's
multiply
2?
by 2. Yeah, you got to multiply by 2 because there's two of them. And don't forget, 3.14 times 3 squared is the surface area of the circle. If you cut it, if you divide it by 2, you're cutting that in halves, right? So the shape is no longer the solid, this cylinder. So that's it. This is it. Whatever this is, do your order operation correctly, and that should be the answer. Now you want, oh, you can't check this. I was gonna say, if you want, I'll use the calculator and tell you what the answer is. But you can do all this by hand. But if you want to see it right now, let's do it. 3.14 times 3 squared, which is 9, but I'll just do it like that, times 2, plus 10 times 3.14 times 6. Let me double check on that. The 6, yeah, it's going to be the length and the width, 3.4 times diameter. Yep. So let's see. Final answer should be 244.92. You can check on this, okay? You can do them separate and then add them together. So it'll be 244.92. 244.92 unit meter squared, right? 244.92 meters squared. Okay, I think that's that. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, this is, remember, I even before we start doing number 14, I was telling you the surface area is the one that will slow everyone down. I was saying that, and that's because, yeah, it's even next year, you have to kind of ponder over again, like kind of like review this. But that's why they gave you this really early. By the way, again, this book is good. My other student who are actually at the same level as you, they don't have this problem, dude. They never had to deal with surface area whatsoever. But the volume, yeah, but not the surface area. That's like a step up. So you're actually doing it. Yeah, you're doing more advanced stuff than they do. But this is why I like this type of book. Last year one, same year, this year I guess it's probably the same authors. Maybe I don't know. You can look up the acknowledgement or whatever in the front. Yeah. So that's it. I think the rest you can do. I hope, right? You okay? You think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll see more of these again. Surface area. You're gonna see. Pretty sure another one like it. You did at least 2 already. But I think you're gonna have to do more than that. Maybe 3 already. But yeah, I'll say more than that. All right, dude. I guess we'll call it. I'll see you